This is Dominique Perez, and this is my lesson plan for partner reading, and this is for week 6. I planned this for 3rd grade, and the grouping would be partners, but when I first explain it, it would be a whole group situation, but otherwise we would be working in partners for a few weeks with our different reading passages that I picked out. Okay, so I am going to get started. Hey guys, today we are going to be practicing a new thing called partner reading. And this sounds exactly like what the words say. So you're going to be put into partners and you'll read a passage together. And I'm going to explain it a little more because that's not quite enough, okay? So the reason we are doing this is because we need to help your reading fluency out a little bit. And sometimes reading something with other people can help your fluency. So reading fluency, does anyone know what that is? Nobody, that's okay. We have some ideas, I'm thinking. So reading fluency is the ability to be able to read accurately. So what's that mean? Yes, exactly. Good idea. It means that you are reading the right thing. So you're saying the right words. And yeah, you're reading correctly. And so reading fluency is the ability to be able to read accurately, quickly. So hold on though. Should we read too quickly? No, exactly. Because when you're reading too quickly, if I talk really fast, it's really hard to understand me, right? So if we read too quickly, it might be too hard to understand. But we also shouldn't read very slow. So what we're going to be working on is that rate and reading at the right pace so that it almost sounds like a conversation and you can really understand what you're saying. And the last thing that fluent readers do is they read with good expression. So they look at those different punctuation marks and they take those into consideration, okay? So they're reading with expression, almost like they're telling a story. And so we are going to be practicing this fluency with our partners. You guys are going to help each other with this fluency, and you guys are all going to get really great at this skill. So your partner will help you monitor your reading, and they'll provide help with hard words. So if you get stuck, maybe your partner is going to help you out with that, and we'll talk a little more about that. And then your partner is going to give you feedback on how you're doing in general. So they might say, oh, you've really improved your fluency since last week. I've noticed you reading at a quicker pace. So they might realize that you've been adding these extra skills and you've been getting better at them. So during partner reading, you will either be the first or the second reader. And when you aren't the reader, you get to be the coach. So what do coaches do? Yes, exactly. Normally they help out their players, right? And they give them different tips. So the job of a reader is to read accurately, quickly, and with expression like we just talked about. That's your job as a reader. And the job of the coach is to help listen. So we're listening for mistakes, and we're helping with our hard words, and we're giving feedback to help out our readers, okay? So the first readers will read aloud a certain amount of text, or for a certain amount of time, we'll decide that, and the coach will listen. And then once they read their certain amount or for that certain time, you guys will switch so the other person will be the coach. So you're going to be working with your partner for a long time. I think this is going to be about a 3 or 4 week thing. And if you guys do really well at it and it's helping, we might do it even longer than that. So it's important that you form a good bond and a good relationship. You guys want to be able to talk to each other and give feedback and tips to each other, and you want to feel comfortable, okay? So we need to be polite and we need to be kind to each other. No matter what happens, we all make mistakes. I still make mistakes when I'm reading, right? So if your friend makes a mistake, we're going to model how you should react to that. And also, we are in partners, right? So we should only be talking to our partner. I know sometimes that can get a little tricky, but the reading should be really engaging, and you guys will want to talk about what you're doing well and what you could improve on, right? And we also only need to be talking about our reading and about our different passage. And I will have these posters up that will remind us of this. So another important thing is that we need to be using a little bit of a quiet voice. Because if I have all of you guys and partners and you're all talking really loud like this, you're not going to be able to hear each other's partners, right? So we need to talk in a quiet voice where your partner should be able to hear you, but you want to make sure that you're not being too loud and overpowering someone else. Alright, so we're going to get into this a little bit more. There are 4 different mistakes we can make when reading. And the first mistake is to say a word wrong. So I want you to pass all of these out to the different students. These are the passages that I'm going to be modeling with. And some of you will actually be reading these as your passages. So there you go. Now that you all have a passage, I'm going to model what to do if your partner might say the wrong word, okay? So I'm going to read the first sentence in marine mammals, and make sure you are following along with me. You can use your finger or you can just look if you would like. Mammals are warm-blooded animals. What word did I say wrong? Did anyone catch that? Does anyone need me to repeat it? Oh, yes. Yes, I said worn instead of warm, right? Yeah, so that completely changes the meaning, right? So as a coach, if your partner does this, you can say, stop, you said the wrong word. And you can point to it and you can say, the word is warm. And as a coach, you should want to make sure they're listening. So you can ask your partner, what was the word? And your partner can say, the word was warm. And so then you can go back and you can practice rereading that sentence and making sure that your partner gets that word the second time around, okay? Because sometimes that can affect our comprehension on our reading too, and our fluency. So the second mistake is getting stuck on a word for more than 4 seconds. So follow along as I read this sentence. It says, marine mammals such as whales live in the... I don't know. Did I get stuck on a word for more than 4 seconds? Did somebody count? Yes, exactly. I got stuck on that word for a while. So when you're the coach, you can go ahead and say the word. You need to point to it and say, this word is ocean. That's the word that I messed up, right? And then you can ask your partner to reaffirm their learning and say, what was that word? And your partner will say ocean. And so then once your partner gets it, you can go back and reread that sentence a second time, okay? And make sure that they can get that tricky word. You want to be helping them out as a coach. And so the third mistake that you might run into is when someone skips over a word. And this can happen a lot, especially if we're reading really quickly and doing a quick job. All right, so I am going to read the third sentence, and I want you guys to follow along with me, okay? Unlike fish, marine mammals breathe underwater. What word did I miss? Did anyone catch it? Yes, you were following along. Awesome job following along. I missed the word can't. And that's an important word. It completely changes the sentence, right? So that's important to correct. So as a coach, if your partner skips a word, you should immediately say, stop, you skipped a word. Read the sentence again. And when your partner reads that sentence again, you want to make sure that they're reading closely and that they're reading accurately. You don't want them to miss a word, okay? And if they miss that word a second time, maybe you can help them out with it and say, you missed the word can't. And you can show them, and then they can repeat their reading again. So then the last mistake we're going to talk about is adding an extra word. And sometimes we do this when we're really good at reading the passage and it might get boring to us, or we feel like we're telling a story and we like to add little things in. I know that sometimes I do this and it's a really easy thing to do. So follow along as I read the fifth sentence, okay? The fifth sentence says, they can stay under the water for a long time. Did anyone notice what word I added? Yes, exactly. I added the word the. So when this happens and you're the coach, you can say, stop, you added an extra word. Read the sentence again. And your partner will go back and they'll read that sentence again, okay? And if they don't add that word, that's perfect. and you can give them great feedback on that, okay? I know that was a lot of different information, and so I have a poster for you right over there on that side of the classroom, and it can help you remember the different partner rules. So we're going to go over those really quick. We want to be cooperative. We want to work together and be great partners. We want to have that great relationship, and we want to be polite and be respectful, right? Because everyone makes reading mistakes, and that's okay. And it's important to correct those, but we have to do that in a nice and comfortable way so that other people aren't embarrassed. And the last thing, yes, we need to be very quiet. Because if we're, like I said, if we're talking really loud, other people can't hear their partners, and that defeats the purpose, right? So our other poster is the poster on mistakes. So you can look up and you can see the different mistakes, like saying the wrong word or getting stuck on a word or leaving a word out or adding a word, okay? And those will be right up there so you can see them just in case you forget. And now I am going to pair you up. And so when I pair you up, I want you to first read your passages paragraph by paragraph. And I will assign you a first reader and then a second reader. And remember, as the first reader reads, the second reader is going to be that coach, okay? And then you guys will switch roles once you hit that new paragraph. So the people I have partnered today, I have put Brian and Eric together, okay? So I want you, come up here, I will hand you your passage. So here's your passage. And Brian's going to be the first reader, and Eric, you're going to be the coach first, okay? So you can go over to a little quiet area in the room where you want, and you can begin to practice. The second pair is Jason and Dennis. Yeah, come on up and I'll give you your passage too. So Jason, you're going to be the first reader, and Dennis, you're going to be the coach first, okay? And you're going to want to practice those different jobs as you reach each paragraph. So you guys can go pick a cozy spot in the room, make sure you're not that close to another group. My third group, I have Amy and Tammy together. So you guys, Amy is going to be the first reader, and Tammy, you're going to be the second reader like we just talked about, okay? Perfect. So next, I have Joe and Opie. Here's your guys' passage. Joe, you're going to be the first reader. Opie's going to be the second reader, okay? And you guys want to make sure to really get those roles down right from the get-go. My next group is Adam and Joanne. So Adam, you're going to be the first reader, and Joanne is going to be your coach, okay? She's going to help you with those different things, and then you guys get a switch and you'll help her with those different things. My next group is Chris and Melissa. So Chris, you're going to be my first reader in that group, and Melissa, you're going to be the coach, okay? Make sure to switch when you get to the next paragraph. All right, Brad and Nessa. Hey guys, Brad, you're going to be the first reader, and Nessa, you're going to be the second reader. So Brad, you're going to read, and Nessa's going to listen really carefully to see if she can find anything that you might have done a little wrong, and she's going to correct you on that, okay? All right, Jennifer and Beth. Jennifer, you are my first reader, and Beth, you're going to be the coach first, okay? And then once you get to that next paragraph, you're going to go ahead and switch roles, all right? Chuck and Jamie, you're my next partners. Come on up. All right, so Chuck, you're going to be the first reader, and Jamie, you're going to be the coach. So you're going to make sure to want to follow along and listen very carefully, just like you did when I was teaching, okay? And then Tracy and Gail, you guys are my last set of partners. So Tracy, you're going to be the first reader, and Gail is going to be the coach, and she's just going to make sure to listen to you very carefully. All right, guys, now that you're all together, I want you to spread out and make sure that you're talking at a quiet enough voice. I'm going to be coming around, and I'm just going to be helping you and seeing what I observe and watching you guys do an awesome job doing this, all right? Perfect. Get started, guys.